What if we made money literally expire after 1 year? Imagine waking up one morning and discovering that the $100 in your wallet has quietly started to rot. Not physically, the bill looks fine, but its value is leaking out, a little every month, like air from a slow tire. Hold it for a year and it's worth nothing. Spend it today and it's worth everything. Every dollar you own now comes with an expiration date. Your first reaction is correct. This is insane. But economists have a polite name for it. It's called demurrage, a holding fee on money itself. Instead of money sitting still and quietly keeping its value, money that just sits there gets taxed for sitting there. The longer you hold it, the more it costs you. And here's the fact that should not be true. A small Austrian town actually tried this in 1932. It worked so well, so fast, that the National Bank panicked and made it illegal. We'll get to them. Hold that thought. It's about to matter a lot. First, the obvious question. Why would anyone design money to self-destruct? Because money has a quiet problem, and the problem is you. When times get scary, people stop spending, they hoard, they sit on cash and wait. Which sounds responsible until you remember that your spending is someone else's income. If everyone freezes at once, the whole economy seizes up. Not because the money disappeared, but because it stopped moving. Economists measure this movement. They call it velocity, how many times a single dollar changes hands in a year. A dollar that buys groceries, then becomes the cashier's wage, then buys gas, is doing real work. A dollar stuffed under a mattress is doing nothing. Demurrage is a crowbar aimed directly at the mattress. Make holding money expensive, and suddenly nobody wants to be the one holding it when the music stops. So what happens the morning the rule goes live? A scramble. A beautiful, frantic scramble. Nobody wants to be caught with rotting cash, so everyone tries to pass it on immediately. You pay your rent early. Your landlord, also holding rotting cash, pays his contractor early. The contractor pays her suppliers early. The money becomes a hot potato that the entire economy is flinging across the table as fast as humanly possible. Spending doesn't just continue, it accelerates. Saving, the thing your grandmother told you was a virtue, has become a slow-motion mistake. And debt flips upside down. In our world, lending money is a favor you charge interest for. In this world, holding money is the punishment, so lending it to someone, anyone, just to get it off your hands, starts to look attractive even at zero interest. People might even pay you to take a loan. That's not a typo. We'll come back to that, because it gets stranger. Now, the town, Wörgl, Austria. 1932. The Great Depression has gutted the place. A third of the town is unemployed, the local government is broke, and the money that does exist is frozen solid in fear. So the mayor, a man named Michael Unterguggenberger, tries something out of an obscure economic theory. He issues the town its own local currency, work certificates, and he prints them with a catch. Each note has 12 little boxes on the back. At the end of every month, to keep the note valid, you have to buy and stick on a stamp worth 1% of its value. Hold the note, and it slowly costs you. It is, quite literally, expiring money. And the town goes electric. Nobody wants to be stuck buying stamps, so everyone spends the instant they're paid. Shopkeepers pass it on the same day. The town pays its workers in it. The workers buy bread with it. The baker pays his taxes with it. Early, because paying taxes early is now the smart move. In about a year, that money circulates an estimated 13 times. A normal currency might manage that in a decade. The town repaves roads, builds a bridge, plants a ski jump. Unemployment drops while the rest of Austria is still sinking. Visitors come from all over Europe to see the miracle of Wörgl. So obviously they gave the mayor a medal and rolled it out nationwide, right? They did not. The Austrian central bank saw a town printing its own money and outlawed it within the year. Wörgl took it to court, lost, and the experiment died in 1933. Remember that, the part that got it banned wasn't that it failed. Because here's the thing, it didn't fail, it worked. And a system that works without you is a system you no longer control. Now scale Wörgl up to a whole country, forever, and the world starts to bend in strange ways. Money racing to escape itself has to land somewhere, and it stampedes into anything that holds value while sitting still. Houses, stocks, gold, land, art, anything that doesn't rot. The price of all of it would climb, not because those things got better, but because they became the only safe place to hide from the melting cash. The mattress moves into the housing market. Banking turns inside out. Your savings account doesn't pay you. You pay it for the service of storing money that's busy decaying. So people empty the banks, and the banks have to change what they even are. Lending explodes because parking money in a borrower's hands is better than watching it shrink in yours. Interest rates can go negative and stay there. The entire emotional logic of money, save now, spend later, gets reversed into spend now, and whatever you do, don't just sit. And the winners and losers swap seats. The patient saver, the careful person with a fat emergency fund, is quietly punished every month. The spender, the borrower, the person constantly moving money, they thrive. A society running on expiring money would reward exactly the opposite behavior of the one we live in. Which brings us to the only real question. If it pulled a dying town out of the depression in a single year, why don't we do it? Partly because it's a sledgehammer. A little expiring money pumps an economy. Too much sets off a panic where people dump cash for literally anything. And that's just inflation wearing a clever costume. Partly because in a connected world, the moment your money rots, you'd shove your savings into a currency that doesn't. And now you've just exported your savings. But mostly it's the reason Wörgl really got shut down. Expiring money quietly redefines what money is for. We're taught it's a store of value, a thing you can hold on to, a way to freeze a piece of your effort and thaw it out years later. Demurrage says no. Money isn't a place to stand still. It's a current, and it's only doing its job when it's moving. So the rotting dollar in your wallet was never really an attack on your money. It was a question about it. Is money something you keep, or something you keep moving? A small Austrian town answered that question in 1932. The answer worked so well, they had to ban it.